Yo guys, I am going to talk to you today about citation audits. This is a topic that I've been known to speak somewhat passionately about in the past. It's been a focus of a lot of blog posts that I've written in the past. And so it's something that I can sort of easily speak to. This week I haven't been feeling super motivated to make videos. I haven't had a lot of inspiration, so wanted to get at least one video done today before the end of the week. So this is just an easy one that I could bang off and kind of ramble on a little bit about. There are a lot of different citation audit tools out there. There's a lot of good ones. Shout out to Whitespark. They are the sort of industry leader as far as citation audit tools go, and they are very well trusted, and I would recommend their tool just as most do. However, there are some limitations, and so I think you can look at them as limitations, and you can also look at them as time savings. And I think that just depends on sort of which camp you're in. I'm going to speak to my camp. And my camp is one where it's not that I'm saying that I'm more thorough or anything like that. It's not that at all, really. It's just like maybe I'm more paranoid, I guess. So when you run a citation audit via various tools that exist, Whitespark included, you're going to get back, and then this is just my understanding. Forgive me if maybe I've kind of got this wrong. I didn't build the tool. I didn't build any of these tools, so I don't know exactly how they function. But this is just kind of like my understanding, I guess, is you will get back kind of all the important citations, or at least those citations that have been sort of defined as important by whomever. And you'll sort of have a clear path. Okay, I've got these 50 citations and I've got to take care of these citations, right? Whereas, and let me just quickly step back, citations, in most cases, I'm talking about local business directories, Yelp, Super Pages, Yellow Pages, whatever, right? So you'll get a report back and you kind of have a plan of attack. I got to take care of these 50 citations by whatever means, manual outreach, buy a Yext account, use Moz Local, hire Whitespark, hire whomever, right? And that's great. And indeed, those are very likely be sort of 50 citations that you want to take care of. As far as priority is concerned, if I were to sort of if I were to say, okay, well, I've got limited resources, I want to take care of these 50 citations first, I would take care of those very likely, whatever those 50 are. However, if you have more resources, or if you're paranoid like me, and don't want to leave anything to chance, anything to Google, you don't want to assume that maybe Google doesn't have it all figured out, then I'd recommend going a little bit deeper. Maybe yes, run your audit through Whitespark, then start tackling those right away. And then my other approach would be just to roll up your sleeves and start digging in Google yourself. And that is just running different search operators, different search queries with different variations of your name, address, phone number, possibly URL. Mind you, some local business directories don't allow you to include your URL, so you won't always find it. And if you have like an old address or an old phone number that is associated with the same business, or maybe you rebranded so you have an old name that's associated with your current address and all that kind of stuff, run all those variations. And there are a lot of good guides out there. Darren Shaw made a wicked one, which I refer to this day because he nailed some of the search operators, and I don't think anybody's really outlined it quite as well in the past. And I think there's been a couple guides since that have been pretty good. I think Casey, I want to say his last name's Mraz, but then I'm probably I think that's what it is. He made a wicked one on Moz. And just search Citation Audit Guide, Citation Audit, or Citation Cleanup Guide, because usually with a Citation Cleanup Guide, there's a Citation Audit Guide attached to it, or a link to one. And there's a number of them that are really good. But be super thorough. Put them in a spreadsheet. And sometimes, like, I did this one audit for a client. It was a legal client. What a mess. 15,000 citations. I shit you not. 15,000. We were doing this audit for like 7 or 8 days straight, like 8 hours a day. And just when we do an audit, we put we get the in a spreadsheet the site, the URL we found it on, what was wrong, how to fix, more or less. That can take a hell of a long time when you're not only dealing with an office listing, but you're also dealing with multiple practitioner listings. So each one of the lawyers themselves often has their own presence, which I'm finding more and more often. I'm getting guys who run legal digital marketing companies, or just law offices themselves coming to me, and they've done a lot to promote their own their internal attorneys, built out separate citation builds for their attorneys. And speaking of which, I remember this really interesting thing that one of them had told me was that 30%, I want to say, of their site traffic, and I don't know what the quality was or anything like that, or how many conversions came as a result of that 30%, but 30% of their site traffic was related to those attorneys' legal listings elsewhere. So those citations of those of their practitioners, of their attorneys. So when we were doing the cleanup, they were like, "Be freaking careful! We don't want to lose 30% of our traffic through this cleanup." Anyways, I do digress. So I tend to want to put everything in a spreadsheet, and by everything I mean everything. If it's indexed in Google, I will find it. I swear to God, I will find it. If it's not indexed in Google, but it exists, that means it just hasn't been indexed yet, and that is a pretty common thing with these local search directories. You can submit to 30, and you might get 22 indexed, something like that, sometimes lower actually. And so you might want to try to find ways to improve that indexation via whatever means. There are a lot of ways to do that. But once I've got all that put together, then that's sort of my next thing is okay, well, I've already started tackling these 50, and a lot of times I can get these audits done really, really quick. So oftentimes I actually don't start with that 50. I'll just run that first. I'll just do that audit, that really, really thorough audit, and then I'll run it through a couple other tools to make sure, or rather, I'll do my manual audit, and then I'll run it through those other tools like White, Spark, Bright, Local, Yext, whatever. Oh man, good opportunity to shout out Andrew Shotland's tool, because we use this tool more than anything for citation audits, actually. Shit, what is it called? I'll plug it in the show notes. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's a Chrome plugin. I'm sure if you search Chrome plugin Andrew Shotland audit tool, something like that, you'll find it. It's amazing. It saves us hella time. And we've actually tried to build one ourselves to see if we could do kind of like there's a couple things that we thought that might be better for us, and it was just such a pain in the ass. So I'm so grateful that he spent the time making that tool. Anyway, so I'll build this spreadsheet, and then I'll just start hammering away at it, and it'll take a long time. It's manual outreach. It's crappy, but at least, and this is my argument, I've hit all the sources. Again, I haven't left it to Google to decide whether it's important or not, and I think that's a big thing. I sometimes I tell this story about what is it? Somebody, I won't go into the details, but somebody looks into Google, searches for a dentist. Or something like that, shows up she spent half the day getting there, kind of thing, and shows up and it's the wrong location. They've moved, right? But because whoever did that cleanup, if they did a cleanup, they didn't update all the listings. She found this like rogue listing, and let's just say that she is a Yelp super user or whatever that is, Yelp super reviewer or whatever. She goes in and she complains and she makes a real stink, and now you went from having a citation cleanup problem, which is relatively inexpensive to clean up, to having a reputation management problem, which sucks way more. So a bad review can cost a lot of business. So that's not something you want, and you certainly don't want to trouble someone to end up at the wrong location and be unhappy. So that's kind of my second argument for in addition to just covering your bases. It's just not worth, like, sometimes there's so many variables in SEO that I don't need to be looking over my shoulder constantly wondering, what if I had just been a bit more thorough in that citation cleanup or in that citation audit? Would that have made a difference? Would I not be worrying today if I had cleaned up that extra 100 citations? Or made an attempt anyways. You may not get them all cleaned up, but anyways. So those are my thoughts on citation audits. I touched a little bit on citation cleanups as well. That's really an entirely different video, but because I like to ramble, I got into that a little bit. I'm eager to hear your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What tools do you use? Yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys. I do appreciate you listening. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that. Thanks so much. Have a good one.